Alex, how you doing?
Hi. Good.
So I'll just start off by asking you, I think it's always important to know, what was the genesis of you starting Metron Force?
So I need to explain the name a little bit before I explain the technology. So Metron is Asian Greek word in measure. So the measure the force, right? So in the last 3 years, to 5 years actually, most of our wearable is a subset of IoT. Okay? So wearable is the most challenging part, hardware challenging part, because you need to strengthen it to a point that you can wear it, not look like awkward. And but most of the device that you have now, Fitbit, Jabon, I call it passive sensor. It's because they have the algorithm to running it. You can use a low power, but the algorithm itself is simple enough. So you can relay all the data to the cell phone actually. But beyond that, how you do something, let the sensor create something more proactive, So that's what we go into. So last 3 years, when the sensor gets smaller, we want to jam every of the very complicated algorithm into the sensor. So it can help us do something. And one thing is actually about is controlling. Controlling. That's why I call it proactive sensor. So how do you control everything around you? By just wave of your hand, right? And the market 3 years ago is not really mature yet, actually, in terms of controlling physical object, because that time the smart device is still not really widespread. But if you see nowadays, as bought by Google and other companies, already have a lot of smart devices and IoT in your home and in the office. So next 5 years, I predict everything around us will almost smart device or IoT. But each company have their own app and their own specific channel to control it, control. And so you don't want, for example, if you at home have a 20 smart device, do you want 20 apps control 20 devices? You don't want switching between, matching, pairing, Bluetooth.
And that's like my passwords on every account I have. Yes.
Exactly. So that's really bring about. So our wearable eventually wants to have all those installed in your wearable, and one device control everything around you. Just wave of your hand.
So what do you see then as the primary, I guess, inhibitors to a unified platform and an environment where you can control in the IoT space all of your wearables and all of your devices?
So there's a few companies already trying to unify, because first things is the back end actually is the connection, Wi-Fi, right, and even the cloud actually. So a few of them actually trying to do that, but the problem is like each company, especially hardware company, they create their own vertical, device actually. So controlling each of them actually, yes, through the Wi-Fi you can do that. The problem of Wi-Fi is almost like you putting Wi-Fi in your wearable is not really nowadays still not really practical, because Wi-Fi consumption is too huge. That's why wearable can be, if you have a Wi-Fi in your wearable, I bet you're gonna run out of battery in 1 or 2 hours, or even 3 hours actually. So how do you consumer don't want to wear something, you need to charge every 2 or 3 hours actually, something like that.
So I think everyone in the room knows that IoT is a huge moniker, and it stands for a lot of different things. And as you look out on the landscape, and you're creating a very unique product that I believe would have lots of application, how do you approach the market, and what areas do you think you can address first, and then sort of expand your footprint?
So yeah, it is the most challenging part actually. So one of the things is I would say other competitor gesture. So one of the gesture in a wearable, you want to control something, of course, most basically is gesture control. Right? So last 3 or 4 years, a lot of competitors create some gesture wearable, try to control something through really complicated gesture pattern that normal user don't want to remember actually. You trying to make a circle or something like, waving like Tai Chi, trying to get control something. And so that how we actually creating a bias, to consumer impression that gesture is not my things. I don't want to use it because it's too complicated. So we need to fight that, a negative bias that already inset in the consumer mind. So one thing we want to do is how we approach consumer to let them know that our device gesture control is easy. You don't even need to remember. I coined the word called mind gesture, just like what I'm talking now. If you notice, my hand's moving actually because it's actually expressing what I'm trying to say, right? Exactly. You want your mind, just for example, you say left. How do you say left? You say left, right? That's exactly what is the mind want to tell us left. We want to create a very simple, intuitive gesture that user don't even need to remember, but quickly know that, oh, I got it, right away. So we need to convey the message to consumer, let the consumer have understand that. But through that, we need to focus on early adopter, because for mass adoption, actually, it's not easy. Nothing easy if you are a start company, to make ton of people know about it. It's not easy at all. Social media is a part of the challenge we have. And so we gotta look at, for example, nowadays, early adopter is in the toys and maker market. In US, the maker market is the biggest actually, and we can tap into.
Good. And so, I'd asked you where you were, and I know that you guys announced your product in March, and you had a beta version, and you likened the example to the Minority Report. And myself being one of those that needs, I'm tactile and I need to see and touch things, I'm hoping maybe you might be able to share a quick demo with the group.
So today I will make something more fun today. So I bring a 5 device, so including the drone and then the BPA. I think most of people like the QBPA, and then I'll demonstrate how a single hand can control all of them simultaneously. Okay. So give me 1 minute of time to set up. Okay. Using the head. Okay. So I just activate all 5 devices, right? Yeah, so I activate all 5 devices actually. So my wearable, actually the one right now in my hand, is actually notice the device and adding it to the network. So we create a firmware like in called a local network. Okay. So if you see now, actually, I'm controlling just by waving my hand, just like the way you want, right? Turn on and off, actually, or even dim. This one just on and off, or we can dim it, So you can theoretically, you can up to 3,000 devices you can control simultaneously in single hand, okay? So now you just double tap it, now it's switching to the second one, right? So you're controlling even, for example, that's why you call intuitive, because your hand wants to tell something to turn left, right? You say, okay, left, okay, turn left, turn right, twist your hand right. So you say forward, just like the way we express in our mind, forward, okay, backward. Exactly, this is called direct control, right? Now we're switching to the free drone, okay? So drone is more complicated because drone actually, the reason why we go into drone, okay, because the idea of control, we inspired by, sci-fi, superhero or even Jedi Force, right? So we think like, even Jedi Force can control something on the ground, they also can control something in the sky, right? So we want to control something flying in the sky. So for the RC controller, actually, 16 hours is really complicated. So what I say, the drone computer. So we take a challenge to fuse all the called roll, yaw, and then pitch all together in a single action actually. So we say we fuse the drone algorithm into a variable. So single hand control the drone, okay? So I'm gonna remove the mic first to concentrate.
Yes.
So already switching to the first one, right? So it's really easy just controlling left and right, by just using your hand movement. Left, right, forward, backward, okay? That's how you control the drone, okay? And you want to catch it, just, catch it actually using your hand. So same as to, you can switching up to, multiple drone simultaneous. So next time you're switching to this one. Same thing, So we're using the white color because people like the white. So you switch again, now we actually indexing actually one by one. But in the future, we want to more like magically you point your finger to some particular device and immediately know that we are pointing to them actually. Yeah, so this is in the closed space, so it's really fast. That's right. So what you see is what you get. What I mean is the hand movement. When you say forward, you're doing like this way, forward. When you backward, you're doing like this. When you tilt it, you tilt it. So the hand is your drone actually.
Well, I know we're running short on time here. I want to say I really like your technology. You answered my question. How do you go from one to the next? And so I think the idea of being able to point at the device is going to be really valuable. And I also know that one of the biggest challenges for startups is to get awareness. So thank you for taking the time to present, and hopefully you get some good word of mouth and recognition for this.
Appreciate it, John.
All right.